Our guest of honor for this morning has accomplished many prestigious achievements in her career, paving the way forward for generations to benefit. She assumed her duties as the 18th Vice Chancellor of the University of Colombo in 2019. She has served on many international scientific working communities and affiliated organizations as an expert. She was the first endocrinologist in Sri Lanka to be appointed to an academic position and has the distinction of being a pioneer physician in women's health in South Asian region. Now I warmly welcome the Vice Chancellor, University of Colombo, Senior Professor Chandrika and Wijayaratna to deliver the guest of honor speech. Madam.
Thank you. Very good morning and Ayubowan. Can I be seen and heard, please?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Chief guest, Your Excellency Mr. Robert Newcomb, Resident Representative of the UNDP, distinguished officials from the Ministry of Tourism and all the corporate partners, both locally and overseas, deans and directors of universities, guest speakers from Sri Lanka and partnering countries, respected members of the Alumni Association of Tourism Economics and Hospitality Management, head of department and staff of the Department of Economics, University of Colombo, conference chair and mentor, Professor Suranga De Silva, and members of the executive committee, and all the postgraduate students and alumni. I bring you my warmest greetings and those from my university, the University of Colombo, and wish you all a happy as happy can be World Tourism Day 2021. I'm deeply humbled and greatly honored to be invited to participate in the 7th consecutive international conference, and this is my 3rd successive year of participation. While thanking you for the invitation to address this august audience on a subject area that is somewhat distant in practice to a simple medic like me, but is nevertheless a subject very close to my heart of human survival and sustenance. Ladies and gentlemen, having experienced the problems faced by the whole of society in terms of the more or less hide and seek game we have engaged with SARS-CoV-2 virus since March of 2020, I have witnessed with humility the resilience and the coping skills of a 35,000 strong population of staff and students of our own university community. We all have had our many lows and a few highs, but I cannot overlook the huge dent borne by the tourism industry in terms of basic survival to zero or negative development and growth. I truly empathize with the entire sector and call on all parties to support them towards a meaningful and safe recovery. In the absence of any overt social protection schemes for the multitude of groups of Sri Lankans who depended almost solely on tourism, as Professor Suranga said, be it domestic or international, the hopes and aspirations of many families fully dependent on the tourism and hospitality trade, those sectors who contributed to society over the past years are far greater in percentage in foreign revenue than agriculture. And they have been completely more or less annihilated and yet to recover. I'm certain that many such families who have not been able to pay off their housing, educational and other loans, while they have not been afforded a protection akin to the 16,000 or so strong public sector to which I too belong. I make special mention of this to encourage our policymakers and planners to enable alternative revenue planning in parallel with welfare and or insurance schemes for this special sector of the tourist trade, just in case this has been overlooked. Having expressed these sentiments as a citizen of Sri Lanka, I would now like to seek your considered attention on some thoughts expressed as the incumbent academic and administrative lead of the pioneering seat of higher education in Sri Lanka. I congratulate the Department of Economics of our own Faculty of Arts on 2 counts. First, for your very astute commitment to provide a sound educational foundation to the professional fields of tourism and hospitality, despite the near total shutdown of the industry. You have survived, you have coped, and are likely to recover. However, I feel the time is now appropriate to take stock of the entire landscape of tourism and hospitality trade. I'm certain that much of the research projects and leading modules for at least the next 3 to 5 years will need to focus on recovery, regain, and reorganization of the tourism, travel, and hospitality sectors and trade of Sri Lanka and the South Asian region. I wish to highlight that, in parallel, our higher educational sector has undergone major transformation, particularly through digitization, and a serious relook at the future employability of our own graduates. Learning and working from home and on a distance mode has brought on unparalleled transformation to our institutional practices. From ICT infrastructure development rather than spatial expansion to digital literacy and the institutionalization of such practices as enterprise resource planning for human resource management, alternative career guidance, motivation training and planning, savings on recurrent expenditures such as electricity and water and paper, to substantially less travel and transport costs, being more environmentally friendly with lower carbon dioxide emissions and water conservation, to mention a few. On these lines, I would like to highlight that the educational sector has survived through digital and virtual global connectivity in conducting a sizable number of symposia, conferences, and workshops. It is no doubt not at all like face-to-face, but we have continued. In fact, our centenary celebrations of the faculties of science, arts, and the main library were essentially on a virtual mode and have been so throughout 2021. With even Nobel laureates and high-end speakers addressing our own university on a more frequent note and from all corners of the planet. My question, therefore, to you is, would we ever get back to where we were in 2019 in sectors and fields like travel, learning, and future careers with expectation? Have we effectively address these in our academic programs, where the need for food security, equitable access to health and safety that ranges from access to vaccinations to coping with and managing with diseases other than COVID-19, issues of gender and social justice, poverty alleviation, social protection, climate change, and environmental science, to mention a few, are of overriding and paramount importance. Holistically, we need to, Your Excellency and ladies and gentlemen, probably readdress the Sustainable Development Goals from the perspective of knowledge transfer to knowledge creation through research. In fact, I highlighted this aspect in a recent forum of educational leaders at an international level. May I seek the permission of our chief guests to suggest a scholarly relook at the indicators, targets, deliverables, predetermined timelines to address the SDGs. I'm certain that focused discussion to determine related research priorities and their support should be addressed and will be addressed in the near future. Permit me also to suggest that we need to encourage an evidence-based approach to a change in the revision of policy and strategies of tourism and travel by supporting experiential learning through case studies and community-based stakeholder engagement, thereby replanning and readjustment towards an effective and safe tourism sector hospitality trade and the related sectors such as transport, cottage industry, gems and jewelry, small and medium price enterprises, corporate and financial sectors, to mention a few, would be made more meaningful. Fresh avenues can be explored with a holistic and multidisciplinary approach. Sri Lanka is a high-end location for biodiversity that can be an opportunity towards being a chosen locality to work and learn in the environmental sciences and in agri-entrepreneurship. The University of Colombo would be very happy to support this, as we have world-class academics in these fields with ongoing partnerships with highly rated universities such as Cornell, California and UCLA, and our learning localities are set in beautiful rural settings. Thereby, the industry and corporate partners can be wooed for on-site educational tourism that would be aligned with the newly started nomad visas, as I understand. The creative and cultural aspects of the performing arts, music, television and theatre drama, along with indigenous knowledge-based scholarships, are also worth exploring. We have the beautiful Sri Pali campus in Horana, with a strong historical link to Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore that celebrated 90 years recently, and the Institute of Indigenous Medicine, soon to become a faculty that extols the virtues of Ayurveda tourism. Our 150-year-old medical faculty can engage in medical tourism to shorten the long waiting lists of surgical procedures such as joint replacement, cataract surgery, and even living donor solid organ transplantation. We are in the process of establishing a unique engineering faculty with plans for integrated circuits and highly skilled human capital development that opens up opportunities to explore university-industry partnership that would engage the tourism and travel trade. Digitization and artificial intelligence has also been taken note of. Online bookings, payments, e-commerce may require specific training and technical support for small and medium-term businesses. In parallel, cybersecurity and training in netiquette and guidelines on social media behavior are essential with an appropriate legal framework instituted. Your quest should not culminate in developing mere study programs, but pave the way to partner with novel stakeholders. I see the need to address resilience and reorganize deliberations amongst teachers, researchers, and leaders in the fields of tourism and hospitality in order to add value and evidence-based scholarship to these fields. This portrays your visionary planning and networking globally and regionally with a purpose to give life and lift to a major player in every one of our country's economic development and sustenance. My salutations to the multitude of your group who have given so much to our nation, and I wish you all the strength to carry on and help your industry recover. Thank you, and I wish you happy deliberations.